My sister has been acting strange lately. She sits at the kitchen table with her mouth hanging open, her eyes vacant, and her gaze is out of focus. She used to wander around the bathroom and her room, but for the past few days, she chose to be in the kitchen, I guess. My maternal grandmother passed away last year, and she gave me a sort of warning. Before she lost consciousness, she called me to her bedside and said, "I'll feel sorry for her, but I also pity you because someone's holding a grudge against you. I'll take her with me, so just be patient until then." My sister and I were half-siblings. I was 4 years younger than her, and my parents loved me, but my sister was not. In her late teens, she left home and began living with a man, but my parents were seriously worried about her future and tried to convince her to break up with whomever she was dating. My sister had dropped out of high school and had been in a rough spot until she was taken into custody by the police. She rebelled against her parents and did not listen to them. Typical puberty stuff, I guess. I was at her own funeral, and that was when she finally came back to her house. She was killed instantly in a car accident in the middle of the night, caused by the car of the man she was riding in. I will never forget the night we spent alone with the family after the wake was over and the mourners had left. In the middle of the night, I heard someone's voice in the guest room. I left my parents sleeping, very exhausted from the day, and went into the room alone. There, my sister's body was laid in a coffin filled with dry ice. I wasn't afraid. We had lived together for more than 10 years, and there were times when we were close like a family. My sister stopped talking to me when she entered junior high school, but it was to my mother she rebelled violently against. It's not like I hated my sister. I think, in a way, I even admired her. I wanted to say a last goodbye to my favorite sister. She had been badly injured in the accident, and half of her face was bandaged. Miraculously, the right half of her face was unscathed. As I gently opened the door of the coffin, I experienced a flashback of her beautiful face. A moment later, something unbelievable happened. My sister's closed eyelid fluttered open. Her clouded white eye slowly caught mine, and the corners of her mouth quivered. I moved my head towards her and turned my face to the side and listened to what she was about to say. My sister was alive. I just wanted to make sure this wasn't a dream. "I'm taking you with me." A curse escaped my sister's mouth. I backed away in surprise and stared at her face from a few feet away. Her eyes were closed. I went back to the room where my parents were sleeping and shivered. Around dawn, I finally calmed down and thought I had hallucinated. Now I know it was not a hallucination. My sister would sometimes appear in front of me and glare at me or just stare with a sad expression. I know she wants to tell me something, but I can't seem to get her to say it. Still, I had a feeling that she still wanted to see me. However, like I said, she has been acting strange lately. I'm not sure if it's my grandmother trying to take her to wherever she is. I was staring until my sister's figure faded away that night, and I was about to leave the kitchen. I put my chair back next to the table and turned around, and suddenly saw my grandmother there. "You must get out of my house right now," she told me. "She's going to take you. She's going to take you with her." I instantly panicked. I saw her figure so vivid in the room, as if she was alive. "It's all her father's fault," she continued. "Her father? You mean my mother's ex-husband?" I asked. That man is trying to end the bloodline. My grandma's voice echoed in my head. I closed my eyes, feeling like I was dreaming. I shook my head and opened my eyes again and saw my mother standing there. She approached me, swaying unsteadily like a sleepwalker. Then, suddenly, she opened her eyes and glared directly at me. She opened her mouth and spoke to me in a low male voice. We're all going to die together. In my mother's hand was a huge kitchen knife.